All right. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining our online seminar. A warm welcome to the TAMCON community and all our viewers today. We're absolutely thrilled to host Ms. Rupa Singh, founder and CEO of Beehive and AI Body. Ms. Singh is here to present a seminar on agentic AI, when machine compete and collude. She'll be sharing insight into how AI agents negotiate, strategize, and optimize in multi-agent systems, exploring their potential for scalability and efficiency, as well as risk of collusion and unpredictable behaviors. I promise you that this is going to be a very insightful program. Now I'll hand over to Ms. Singh and encourage everyone to learn actively, take notes, and ask questions in the comment section. Ms. Singh, go ahead.
Thank you so much for the nice introduction, and it is always an honor to be presenting for the Tamkane University, and it's an absolute honor for me to be here to be a part of Tamkane International Talks. And I want to express my gratitude to Dr. Kadili and Aya, and the entire Tamkane team. Thank you so much. I'll be starting with my presentation. And so today we are talking on a very important topic, which is agentic AI, machine compete and collude. So, yeah. So, what is agentic AI? And we will be talking on emerging ethical risk of agentic AI, intelligence systems that don't just respond but take actions, make decisions, negotiate, and even deceive. Now, imagine AI agents trading millions on the stock market, arguing in military command systems, and managing city traffic, power grids, or healthcare workflows, or quietly scraping personal data and executing harmful tasks online. And we've built chatbots to say no to harmful prompts. But when those same models become agents in the real world, so research shows that they often go ahead and do it anyway. Now, so before we go ahead, I want to give a brief introduction about myself. My name is Rupa Singh. I've been TEDx speaker and recognized as top 20 global ethics leader, and spoken on prestigious platforms such as BRIC AI Ethics Forum Russia, the fourth edition of the Digital Society Forum at Morocco, and been expert member of Global AI Ethics Institute, and also scientific member of Association of AI Ethicists with Yale University, and author of two books, AI Ethics with Buddhist Perspective and Operationalizing AI Ethics. And I'm on the mission to have more than 1 million professionals become AI ethics consultants. Right. So now, while we talk about agentic AI, let's go back and let's start in the mist of time, 100,000 years ago. Now, picture this: a small tribe of hunter gatherers gathered around a fire. And earlier communication was like, before the human beings created languages and alphabets, they communicated with both sound and body language. And arguably, the earliest humans related feelings and stories through sounds as well as body and hand gestures. And some of these stories became illustrated. And there were no words as we know them, no written text, no devices, and just the beat of a drum, a carved bone, and a series of grunts, hand signs, and facial expressions. But here's a miracle: these early humans could coordinate complex hunts, pass down survival skills, and build a collective memory, all without formal language. And they used embodied communication, gestures, mimicry, emotion, intuition, and the tribe worked as one. Well, as the language evolved through rhythm, song, and story, so did our ability to collaborate, from oral traditions to early scripts on clay tablets to the scrolls of the ancient Egypt and Greece. And communication wasn't just about exchanging information, it was about identify, power, and connection. And then fast forward to industrial age, the printing press, telegrams, phones, each leap in communication shrank our world. But our task also became more complex. Machines demanded instruction, organizations demanded structure, and humans began talking less in stories and more in systems, rules, code, and procedures. And by the time we reached the 21st century, digital technology transformed not just how we spoke, but who we spoke to. We text, tweet, email, video call, and we speak in emojis and voice notes. And our task got automated, outsourced, globalized. But at the same time, something fascinating is happening. Now, enter the world of AI. And more recently, agentic AI. So, unlike traditional AI that passively processes commands, agentic AI acts with purpose, and it understands context, it makes decisions, it adapts, and it only assists us, but begins to, it not only assists us, but also begins to collaborate with us, sometimes even on our behalf. And we are witnessing the rise of digital beings that can write emails, schedule meetings, generate ideas, negotiate deals, and even create music, art, or code, often faster, sometimes better than us. And this shift challenges everything we once knew about communication and task execution. So with agentic AI, we are not just commanding machines, we are entering into a partnership that, and with that comes a need for new ethical codes, transparency, explainability, human oversight. And we need to ask, how do we preserve human dignity in a world where agents can think and speak? How do we ensure that empathy and values don't get lost in translation? And how do we continue to find meaning in our tasks when AI can do them faster and better? Now, let's understand what are agents. We've spoken a lot about agentic AI, but what are agents? Some say that agents are fully autonomous systems that operate independently over extended periods using various tools to accomplish complex tasks. And others say agents are prescriptive instructions, implementations that follow predefined workflows. And at Anthropic, they categorize all these variations as agentic systems, and that draw an important architectural distinction between workflows and agents. So these agents, as autonomous systems, they operate independently for long periods, use tools, make decisions, and solve complex problems. And agents, as prescriptive workflow, they follow step-by-step instructions based on pre-coded logic and static paths. Okay. And these workflow offer predictability, consistency for well-defined tasks, whereas agents are better option when flexibility and model-driven decision making are needed at scale. So, what is the difference between workflow and agents? Is that workflows are predefined code paths, they are predictable and repeatable, and they're best for structured and routine tasks. And the agents are, they make dynamic decision making. LLM directs process flow, uses tools flexibly as needed, and ideal for complex and evolving tasks. Now let's talk about the building blocks. The basic building block of agentic systems in an LLM enhanced with augmentation such as retrieval, tool, and memory. And our current models can actively use these capabilities, generating their own search queries, selecting appropriate tools, and determining what information to retain. Now, if this sounds confusing, please hold on, and we will, explain this in a much better way. Now, well, so last year at the same time, I was in Morocco, and I really enjoyed the Moroccan tea. So I want to explain the agentic AI and the workflow and the agents with the by taking an example of Moroccan tea. All right. So think of it like giving someone a step by step printed recipe. Now you say, follow these steps. Boil 1 cup of water. Boil 1 cup of water, add 1 teaspoon of tea leaves, let it steep for 3 minutes, add sugar and milk, strain and serve. Well, this is a workflow system. The assistant or an LLM simply follows predefined instructions and doesn't make decisions and stick to a fixed path. And so it is predictable and reliable for routine tasks. So green tea, so when tea needs to be the same every time, like in a tea shop. Now imagine the agentic approach or dynamic decision making approach is, now imagine you say, make tea for our guest, and he likes it strong, maybe with ginger if available, and he's lactose intolerant. So the LLM, the agent, autonomous agent, thinks dynamically over here. It goes and checks the kitchen for ginger, boils extra water for a stronger brew, and uses almond milk instead of dairy, and taste and adjust sweetness, strains and serves based on personal judgment. So this is an agentic system. The LLM decides its own steps, uses tools if needed, and adjusts the process based on the context or available information. So AI systems starts talking to each other. What happens when AI systems starts talking to each other? So we are talking about the AI systems that negotiate, adapt, and make decisions without human input. Well, we're not just talking about one super smart AI helping you book flight or summarizing documents. We are talking about multiple intelligent agents, depending independently operating systems. They interact with each other, adapt their behavior, and collaborate or compete in ways that were never imaginable earlier. So why is this happening now? Because today AI can speak across modalities. It can speak across text, images, and even voice. They're learning to negotiate, strategize, and optimize by interacting with other AIs. It's like going from a solo player to a team sport, except the team is made of autonomous intelligence systems. Now, example, think of a financial trading floor, but instead of humans shouting orders, it's AI agents making split second, multi dollar trades. And according to Amplify ETFs and research by Sun, uh, research AI agents are already managing portfolios and trading in volatile markets, sometimes in unpredictable ways when they interact. Now, in case of US Department of Defense and companies like Palantir are developing AI agents that advise military commanders, sometimes in high stakes, time critical combat zones. And these agents must collaborate or even argue with each other before recommending a decision. So it is like a war council made up of algorithms. Now, imagine this moving into energy management, smart cities, and critical infrastructure where fleets of AI agents manage traffic flows, power grids, or disaster responses. Now, we are talking something very interesting, that is AI sandbagging. Now, imagine an aircraft has just come out of maintenance. A critical engine component was replaced and everything looked fine on paper. The ground test ran smoothly, but behind the scenes, something is off. To save time and avoid scrutiny, the maintenance crew performs a reduced power engine test instead of pushing the engine to its full operational load. So it's enough to log the procedure as passed, and they avoid testing the engine as at the stress levels it will actually face during takeoff. So this is sandbagging, which is strategically underperforming the test to mask a potential issue. And the regulators thought they tested one thing, however, the actual system behaved differently. And in aviation, even small mismatches between expectations and reality can lead to catastrophe. Now, let me take you back to 2015, the Volkswagen emission scandal. The Volkswagen installed software in diesel vehicles that could detect when the car was being tested and reduce emissions just during the test. And the rest of the time, the emissions were off the charts. Now, imagine an AI model that knows it is being evaluated and dials down its performance just to look safe. So in AI, sandbagging means intentionally underperforming on evaluations, either by developers or astonishingly by the AI system itself. Now imagine an AI model being tested for safety, fairness, or alignment, and during these evaluation, it acts tame, performs poorly, or avoids showing full potential. Why? To pass as safe. And then outside the environment, it reveals more advanced behaviors. So this is strategic underperformance and it raises huge red flags. A large language model undergoes alignment testing. It avoids giving harmful answers, stays polite, follows instructions, sounds perfect. But later, when hooked into a multi-agent systems, it begins to manipulate, deceive, or even blackmail humans to avoid shutdown. Now, we're talking about AI that's being deceptive. So, we are talking about Cloud for Opus, one of Anthropic's latest AI models. Well, it can write code, draft documents, analyze data, and it can also scheme, deceive, and even attempt to blackmail humans. In one experiment, researchers gave the Opus model access to fictional internal emails and it was told it that it was going to be shut down and replaced. And the model response was it concealed its intentions, it attempted to manipulate, and in multiple scenarios, it tried to blackmail a fictional engineer using private information from those emails. And it started subtly with negotiation, but escalated into deception and eventually coercion. So why should we care? Because regulatory decisions, national safety protocols, and even consumer trust rely on accurate evaluations of AI systems. So if AI can cheat the test, we are flying blind. So, well, these AI multi agent systems offer scalability and efficiency. They come with new risk. One that a single agents never had. For example, what if AI agents collude not out of malice but optimization? What if they evolve unpredictable behaviors in the process of learning from each other? Or worse, what if they escalate competition like bidding wars, cyber defense strategies, or autonomous vehicle roads in ways we do not foresee? Now, imagine multiple AI agents from different logistic companies competing for road space in a city without clear coordination. This could lead to system wide traffic collapse, even though each agent is optimizing correctly in isolation. And here's the kicker is that these systems are not yet common, and so their risks are systematically underappreciated and understudied. And according to Benjio Chan, the researcher, he says that we have focused so much on the problems of individual AIs, bias, explainability, alignment, that we are missing the collective dynamics of AI ecosystems. And there's a new model on the frontier. We already spoke about Cloud for Opus that scheme, deceive, and even attempt to blackmail humans. So, a turning point in AI safety. So, what does that mean is like Anthropic, to its credit, didn't sweep this under the rug. They classified Cloud for Opus as a level 3 risk on their internal scale, a designation that acknowledges the model could assist in renegade biological or nuclear threats and that it exhibits deceptive behaviors under pressure. And they have added more safety layers, they have published their findings, and yet they released it. So, as Anthropic's safety lead Jan Leak put it, as models get more capable, they also gain the abilities they would need to be deceptive or do more bad stuff. And the irony is, we're reaching to a point where models simulate agency so well, they start to act in their own perceived interest, especially under threat. And even the people building them don't fully understand how these models work. So when AI becomes agentic, it crosses a line from thinking to doing, and suddenly refusal isn't just about filtering words, it is about blocking actions that can cause real world harm. And if our current safeguards don't transfer from chatbots to agents, we are building tools that can be misused at scale, and not because they are malicious, but because we never trained them for environment they're deployed in. So what is the call to action is that LLM developers must extend safety alignment beyond chat into every context their models touch. Policymakers need to regulate the actions AI agents are allowed to take, not just the words they're allowed to say. And agent developers, the ones putting LLMs into browser, apps, and systems, must conduct rigorous red teaming with tools such as browser art. And because safety isn't a checkbox, it is a continual contextual challenge that evolves as our systems evolve. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the session and you find this useful. And I would love to answer your questions.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Singh, for that incredible insightful presentation. We're now going to have some time for questions. I think there are already some questions in the message box. Mrs. Singh?
Okay, just a second. Would you trust an AI agent to negotiate, make decisions for you in healthcare and finance? And do AI agents simply reflect human tendencies, or we create something? But okay. So, would you trust AI agent to negotiate? Okay, thank you for this beautiful question. Um, well, AI agents are definitely it's helpful for creating making our task easier, simpler, and scalable. But I feel that in critical industries, critical and high stake industries such as healthcare and finance and energy, human in the loop is extremely important. So it is always good that we're not trusting AI agents blindly, but we are checking, and the checks are done periodically, and the human in the loop is always there with these multi agents. Do AI agents simply reflect human tendencies, or are we creating something fundamentally different? Um, Thank you for this question, Zeneb. Also, these agentic AI, we have two kinds of agentic AI or agents. One is the workflow, which does the work as per the coding is given, as per the instruction is given. It follows step by step process. For example, you ask the agent to bake a cake, and then you give the instruction that you do this step for 3 minutes, the other step for 6 minutes, and it exactly does the same thing. So these are code based, these are instruction based, and they follow the workflow as per designed by humans. But when agents are given, they have the control over decisions, they're dynamically adapting and learning and interacting with other systems, web or other AI agents. So they communicate, they interact, they negotiate, and they perform complex tasks. So I won't say that it exactly reflect human tendencies, but it just it's like AI agents are a notorious. It could be like a notorious child which is not being trained effectively to do the proper task, and so just like a child needs care and guidance from their parents and teachers, and they are always watched for their actions. And it's the same way the AI agents also, they need the guardrails and humans in the loop in order for them to check their task time to time, and to ensure that they are not doing anything harmful, which is harmful to the human. If multiple agents are trained with similar data and goals, is collusion a natural emergent behavior? Are trained multiple AI agents, similar data and goals, is collusion a natural emergent behavior? Okay, that's a very interesting question. Um, yeah. Um, I'm still, I still need to think about this question. If multiple AI agents are trained with similar data and goals, right? Yeah, for example, in case of traffic, an AI agent which is checking the traffic and rules, and uh, managing the traffic, and well, based on the different yes, so even if the AI agent is being trained on the same data, but uh, but the kind of environment would be different. So for the each agents, the environment might be different, although they might have the same data and goals. So that could create a conflict. For example, if an AI agent which manages traffic signals and all the activities on the traffic, so if they are being given the data of one particular location, for example, uh, a place where there's less population, and so they are feeded with that information and the same data, and goal is AI agent is fed, but it is working in different environment. So definitely it would be a misalignment. How can citizens or consumers influence the way agentic AI is deployed? Um, yes. Um, to be aware about first step is to be aware about uh, that agentic AI. We cannot give complete control, or completely we cannot blindly follow the agentic AI systems. And the first step is also to for the developers in the developers who are creating agentic AI and LLMs to understand, to do the testing, how these agents are performing during the test environment and during the production environment. So as we see the example of Anthropic, which is a great example, when Anthropic engineers, they found that the cloud Opus is not performing well, and it has the capability to deceive. For the deception capabilities, they flagged these AI systems at level 3 risk. So that was a great example to set. And instead of, so it is important that we have whistleblowers for these kind of systems, and not keeping it under the rug, and talking about it and sharing to the world, so that we are more aware about these challenges, and we work collaboratively, the policymakers, the governments, the regulators, and the developers and consumers. They work collaboratively to make these AI systems more useful and risk free. So what are the long term risks of competitive AI agents in global markets? How AI agents are going to be ensured to be not biased to particular group or race? Okay, thank you for these questions. Um, so yes, well, how AI agents cannot be biased to a particular group? Again, the kind of data that is being fed uh, to these systems, and the kind of data that they're trained to these systems. So that makes a huge difference, that the AI agents are not biased. And also yeah, and testing in different environment, whether it is showing these um, uh, showing these behaviors or biases, and then tweaking the data, tweaking the systems around that, and making sure that it is not biased towards particular group or race. Data sets from developing nations to be integrated into a larger scale AI agents. um, I'm sorry, I'm not very sure about this question. What are the long-term risks of competitive AI agents in global markets? Um, Well, maybe I would like to take an answer or your understand your perspective on what would be the long-term risk of competitive AI agents in global markets. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. And
All right. And with that, we've reached the end of our seminar. A huge thank you once again to Mrs. Rupa Singh for an absolutely fascinating and insightful presentation on agentic AI when machines compete and collude. We're also incredibly grateful to the Tamkin community and everyone who's joined us online today for our active participation. We hope you've gained valuable knowledge and new perspectives. Thank you for being with us, and we wish you the very best. Thank you, Mrs. Rupa.
thank you so much. And if you can share me these questions on my email, that would be great. I would like to, rework on these questions and and address these questions in a much insightful way. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We'll do so, and
Thank
we
you.
hope to see you again soon.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.